Welcome to the Christmas edition of Noir Alley. I'm Eddie Muller, here at Bar 355 in Oakland, California, and I am ready to put some cruel in your Yule. Consider today's offering a lump of coal in your holiday stocking. But thanks to a suspenseful screenplay and a pair of gifted actors, this lump of coal shines bright as a diamond. From 1952, it's Beware, My Lovely. The script is by Mel Donnelly, whose feature film work was exclusive to the noir era. Starting in 1946, he wrote a string of terrific screenplays that included The Spiral Staircase, The Window, The House by the River, Cause for Alarm, Jeopardy, and best of the bunch, The Reckless Moment. All nail-biters, some original, some adaptations. Today's movie is based on Donnelly's most successful original story, which became something of a multimedia phenomenon. The story debuted on the radio program Suspense in 1945 as To Find Help, with Agnes Moorehead and Frank Sinatra in the leads. That same year, Donnelly published the short story as The Man. In 1949, To Find Help was revived on radio with Ethel Barrymore and Gene Kelly. Donnelly then transformed The Man into a play, which ran on Broadway in 1950 with Dorothy Gish in the lead. Ida Lupino snapped up the movie rights and had Donnelly do the screen adaptation himself. If you're keeping score, that's a radio show, a short story, a stage play, and a movie, and it would later be adapted twice for television. Now, by the time she starred in Beware, My Lovely, Ida Lupino was more interested in making movies than acting in them. She formed a production company called The Filmmakers with her husband, writer-producer Collier Young, and by 1951, she had 3 pictures under her belt as a director: Never Fear, Outrage, and Hard, Fast, and Beautiful, plus uncredited work as a director on several others. But to finance the films she wanted to make, which often had daring subject matter, Lupino continued to act, often taking a profit percentage on pictures she starred in and produced, like Beware, My Lovely. The previous year, she'd co-starred in On Dangerous Ground, playing a blind woman trying to stem the savagery of a big city cop, played by Robert Ryan. They had dynamic chemistry. Lupino's petite porcelain delicacy contrasted with the seething intensity of her rugged 6'4" co-star. For this film, I doubt Lupino considered anyone else for the role of Howard Wilton, an itinerant handyman who, over the course of one long day, veers between sympathetic and psychopathic. Ryan played this kind of character better than anyone, and as scary as they often were, his characters were never one-dimensional. His signature skill as an actor was eliciting empathy for angry, damaged souls. As a producer, Ida Lupino rarely allowed Ida Lupino, the director, to work with Ida Lupino, the actress. 1953's The Bigamist was the exception, where she directed herself in a romantic triangle with Edmund O'Brien and Joan Fontaine. Here, Lupino turned Beware, My Lovely over to 40-year-old Harry Horner, a production designer new to the director's chair, who had worked with Lupino, the director, on her second picture, Outrage, in 1950. Horner and Robert Ryan must have gotten on famously, since they both studied under legendary theater director Max Reinhardt. Horner had also been an actor before becoming a full-time production designer for theater and opera, as well as the movies. RKO's resident art director, Albert D'Agostino, may be listed in the credits, but the set design and decor in Beware, My Lovely was entirely the work of Harry Horner, and he obsessed over it. With the story set in 1918, immediately after the First World War, war widow Helen Gordon's home is filled with accurate period detail, right down to the wattles, rain trees, crockets, newels, and antimacassars, all beautifully photographed by George Discant. One thing Horner didn't need to have built was the home's central staircase. It appeared in many RKO films of the era, a leftover from Orson Welles' 1942 production, The Magnificent Ambersons. Originally called in its first 3 incarnations, The Man, tentatively retitled The Ragged Edge and then Day Without End, before finally being released by RKO boss Howard Hughes a year after its completion, saddled with a lurid title more to Hughes's taste. Here is Beware, My Lovely.